Welcome to the QuickCharts Getting Started video. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you all of the features of QuickCharts so that you can get started creating your drill quickly. The first thing you're going to see whenever you open up QuickCharts is this red label at the bottom that says click on the field to add a position. I'm going to left click up here and you can see that I've added a marcher to the field. It says you can drag and drop positions. You do that by clicking on it, leaving your finger on it and dragging it around the field. And then it finally says they can only be added to set 1. If you look at this blue label here, it tells you what set we are on. Now, I am going to show you how to change that later on, but for now, just notice that if I click on the field, like I'm doing right now, and anything other than set 1, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to go back to set 1. Now I can click and add some more marchers to the field. As I'm adding these, you'll notice that the last one I added has a white number in the middle of the ball here. That means that it is the one that is selected. Now there's some different things you can do with the selected marcher. I'm going to take a look at the shortcut menu over here, and the first thing I want to notice is that you can toggle through which one is selected with the Z and X buttons. So here I'm going to click on one to make it selected. That's one way to choose which one you want to have selected. But if I were to click the X button, you'll notice it's going to toggle numerically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I did the Z button, I'd go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep your finger down on the button. It's going to go really quickly through them. And again, you can just click on whichever one you want. Now to move the selected marcher, you can use your arrow keys. First of all, to go slowly. Every time that I click one of the arrow keys, it's moving a quarter step. So you're going to want to touch it 4 times to go 1 step. If I want to move a little quicker, I can use WASD keys. That's actually twice as quick. It's going to go a half a step every time you click it. You can keep your finger down on a button to make it go quickly. And if you want to move it super quickly, you can just click on it, drag it around to wherever you want. New to this version is a shortcut to snap to grid. You're going to do that with the O button. And what that means is whichever one is selected, you can click the O button and notice it's going to pop right onto the grid. Now it always puts you onto a grid mark. There's no way to hit the O button and go between grid marks, but logically you could just use one of the directional keys a couple of times until you get it directly between the two. There I hit the right button 4 times to go 1 step. If I were to hit the D button twice, I'd be another step forward. Now it is possible to select multiple marchers. And to do that, I am going to press the control button down and click on positions. Whenever that happens, you'll see that I am selecting all of these at once. If I want to deselect just one, I'm going to keep my finger on the control button and press it. You want to be careful to have your finger on the control button, because if I don't and I select one, it's just going to revert back to just that one. So again, my finger's on the control button. I'm going to keep it there while I select all of these. And now that they're all selected, I can use my arrow button to move all of them around all at once. Say I wanted them all to come here, but then I want to push control down and get rid of 5. Maybe press control down and get rid of 4, and I can move them all around that way. All right, let's just reselect one of them. Now this is new to this version. You can right click anywhere on the field and drag, and notice that whatever I am dragging over gets selected. So that's another way that you can make a multiple selection while you're doing your editing. Down here at the bottom of the shortcut menu, it says that I can undo things with the U button. I'm just going to hold my finger down on the U button. You can see that it's being undone. And I can press the R button to redo. If you want to get rid of a selected marcher, it says over here that you can hit the delete button. So let's select number 1 here and hit delete. I'll warn you that's going to delete number 1 from all sets in the entire show. So if you realize that's something that you don't want to do, you want to come back and hit the U button and undo it. 2 other places that you can get to undo and redo. One of them is from the edit menu here, and it's kind of a slower way to do it because you got to hit it a bunch of times. Another way is to change the display of the left bar here. So there's actually a couple of different views. This is the shortcut view. If I hit display, I can go down to left sidebar display. Right now we're on shortcut keys, but if I hit tools, now you're going to see a set of tools that you can use. That also has an undo, redo functionality over here, as well as the snap to grid. I am going to hit delete a bunch of times and get rid of everybody. And I'm going to show you what we can do if we use snap to grid with a whole lot of marchers all at once. So say I'm coming through here and I've kind of sloppily tried to put these on the grid and it's not working quite right. We'll put one more row through here. What I'm going to do is I am going to use my right click, select all of them. I'm going to press the O button and it's going to pop them all onto the grid like that. It is possible to change the color of the points on the field. There's two different ways to do that. If you have this toolbar open on the left, you come down to the bottom here where it says point colors and it opens up this toolbar, this box here. Also, you can get to it from the Tools menu, change point colors, same thing, it's going to bring up this box. From here, you choose the color that you want and click on a point on the field. You can choose any color from the pre-selected ones here, or if you don't like those, you can pick your own. It's going to come up with a color picker here. And click on the chosen color, and you can see that I am now making them that color. This is useful if you want sections to all be the same color. I can also add marchers to the field now. So this would be something to do in the first set because it's going to stay this color for the rest of the show. Let's select these and press O and click them to the grid there. Now, whenever I X out of this, you'll notice that I'm back to the default red for everything that I add now. So anytime you want to change a color, you'll need to have that color changer tool open. Now we're going to talk about this display button, and it's going to help you to choose different options for what you're seeing here. First, we'll talk about the show hide the bottom label. That's this red label right here. If you get sick of looking at it, you can click on that, and now it's gone. Click on it again, it'll come back. Toggle the grid. It's going to make the grid lines disappear. They can come back. Toggle the tick marks. That's the white lines, vertical lines right here. We're going to toggle those on and off. Toggle dark grid lines every 8 steps. That's going to make the grid lines darker every 8 steps. I would recommend that just because it's a little easier to write the drill whenever you have that as a frame of reference. And finally, we can change the grid style, and we have several different options here. Now, the default is this high school true measurements grid set to the front hash recommended. Let's talk about what that means. So on this, we have our home hash mark right here, and you'll see that this dark line of the grid originates here from that home hash mark. And just to make this a little easier, I am going to do away with the tick marks so you can see what's going on. The grid style here is a true 8 to 5 step, so it's 8 steps for every one of these dark lines. And what ends up happening is this back hash mark is not actually on anything really. And this is the way that most high school band directors would do this. And you'll just have this hash mark that's not really on the grid. And you have to, whatever you do, you're gonna have to tell your students how to read this display here. Let's look at another one. So this is high school, ignore margin of error, not recommended. So what's happened here is we're keeping this dark line on the hash mark, but you'll notice now that I've expanded the grid a little bit more so that it's not a true 8 to 5 step, it's actually a little larger. And what that did is it put this directly on one of the grid marks. Now, a lot of band directors will do it this way. Just make sure that if you do, that you explain to your marchers what's going on. And also, whenever you do this, your up arrows aren't going to quite be 4 for a quarter step and 2 of the W's for a half step, so because it's a little bit off, a little stretched. It still will work right to left, but up and down will be a little bit off. All right, next, we've got this third high school one, which says true measurement, grid centered. So this is another 8 to 5. That's what it means by true measurement. And we've just kind of centered this to where both hash marks are equally off of the grid. So we took that little bit of error and we moved it to where both hash marks kind of have the exact same amount of error. So that's another valid way to do this. Whatever you do, make sure that you do it at the very, it should be the very first thing you do when you start writing drill, because it's hard to go back and change it later. After you change the grid, when all the points are on the field, you'll have to go through and rearrange the points. So I would do it before you put any points on the field. Now, if you're doing college, the difference here is you'll notice when I press this button that the hash marks are actually going to get closer together. So let's take the recommended one, because on a college field, you have hash marks that are closer together, which kind of condenses where the people are playing in the football game between these hash marks whenever they start the play. And this recommended one has a couple of solid points about it. Number one, it originates from the front hash here. So this is directly on one of the bold lines. And it's just by chance, it works out that this hash mark is directly on this bold line as well. Now this one's going to be a little bit off. There is a way to fix that. That's the other style of college grid here. And this is the one that's not recommended. It says college, ignore margin of error, adjust hashes to the grid. And all that did was it moved the hash marks a little bit so that they lined up with the grid, which is all great in theory and on paper, but it's not like the football team is going to move the hash marks on the field before a game to accommodate the marching band. It's not going to happen. So this one's kind of a theoretical one that you're not really going to have a practical application for. So it's recommended that you choose one of these before you start writing, and I would start with either the high school recommended one or the college recommended one. There are multiple ways to switch sets, and it's always going to tell you here in blue which set you're on. The first way, I'm going to go back to display, left side bar display here, we're going to go to shortcut keys. The first way is to use a shortcut key here where it says change sets of just pressing a number 1 through 9. So if I press 2, I'm going to 2, 3, 4, 9. It tells us that 0 is going to get us to 10. Now to get into the teens, we're going to push the number plus shift. So I got shift down, I go shift plus 1 is 11, shift plus 9 is 19, shift plus 0 is going to be 20. That's as far as you can go with your number pad. Past that, you're going to have to use some other tricks. The N button stands for next, and that shows you that right here. So as I press the N button, you'll see that I'm progressing through there. The B button stands for back. I'm going to go backwards through the sets. There's also these buttons over here on the right, next set, previous set. And finally, if you want to choose one in particular, you can come up to the set menu item up here. Say I wanted to go to 100. I could go to set 100 that way. Now, I would advise you against moving very far ahead because, say I'm in set 1 here and I just put a position on the field, and what I have right now is the computer knows that I have one set that has a marcher in it, and that's it. The rest of them are empty. If I hit 2, now I've got 2 sets that have that marcher in the same place. In fact, for set 2, I can move it over here. If I go back to 1, you'll see it's here. If I go to 2, you'll see it's here. If I go to 100, what's happening is now I've got set 1 where the marcher's here, set 2 where the marcher's here, and then set 3 through 100, the marcher's still right there. What it did is it copied it. I could go to any one of these sets and you're going to see that he's still sitting there. Now, that can be a little bit of an inconvenience whenever you go to print out your coordinate charts. Whenever you get to the end of your movement, the marcher will be sitting in one spot, but then it'll go ahead and it'll say all 100 sets, and you'll see that it just sits in that one spot for all 100. So the recommendation is that you don't add more sets than what you're going to need, just simply for printing out the coordinate charts. It is possible to draw a line on the field as a point of reference. There's 2 ways to do it. From the toolbar, you can go to draw a line, or from the menu bar, you can go to shapes, line. I'm leaving this open so that in the future we can have circles and squares and stuff like that. Now, currently this is kind of a primitive thing that I've got going here. It doesn't actually put points on the field. It's just for reference. What you're going to do is click where you want the line to start. You're going to click where you want the line to finish, and there's your line. Now, again, it's just there for reference. I can plop points onto it. I do want to note that snap to grid doesn't currently work with this line. That's something for future versions right now. But once you have everything on that line, what you can do is you can come over here to the right where it says erase line. and now it's gone. So we use that there just as a point of reference. Now I'm going to show you how to make an animation. So here on set 1, I'm going to enter some people on the field here, and it's going to be every 4 steps. And I want to make this a straight line. So I'm going to right click and drag and hit the O button to snap it to the grid like we learned before. And now I'm going to hit the 2 to go to set 2. Now what we have is 2 sets, and both sets look identical. But since everything is selected, I can use my arrow button to come over here and move to the next yard line. And now if I hit the play button, you'll notice that it animates from set 1 to set 2, and the default is 2 seconds. I'll show you how to change the default here in a little bit. This is going to be a big move for a couple of the marchers. This may be something that's impossible in real life, but it'll get the job done demonstrating what happens here. So here I am in set 1. Here's set 2. And you can see how I can make them kind of rotate that direction. And straighten that out, we'll hit it again. All right, I'm going to add a third set. So here we are in set 3. I'm just going to move the whole thing down and maybe over 4 steps. There we go. Now when I hit play, you'll see that I go from set 1 to set 2 down to set 3. A couple other ways to do this. I can go up to the animate button. It's going to say from entered start set. That's talking about this right here. Right now it's set 1, so it's going to play from set 1. I can change that. I can put it on set 2. And then when I hit animate, it's going to animate from set 2 to set 3. Over here in the shortcut menu, it shows you that if you press M, it's going to move it. And it's M for move, for animate. And it's going to start wherever this says to start. So I put it back in 1, I hit M, it's going to go from 1 to 3 here. It's also possible to view this in 3D, and there's a couple ways to do that. We have this 3D view here, and it shows us in parentheses that's V, and to me that means V for visualize. So you can either click on it, or you can click the V button, and it's going to pull up this 3D viewer here. And down in the bottom left corner, it gives you some commands here. So with my mouse, it's as if I was standing stationary and just tilting my head around. And if I use the AWSD keys, that's going to move like your whole body, like you're facing one direction, but your whole body's moving. And I can zoom in and out with the 1 and 2 buttons. H is going to toggle that menu on and off, H for hide. And from here, I can still use that same M button to animate, M for move. And the escape button is going to make it go away. I can actually change which set I want to start from. I'm going to hit V again for visualize. And when I hit M now, it's going to start from set 2 and go on to set 3 like that. There's also this 3D toolbar button up here as well. I am not super great at making 3D models, so there's 2 to choose from. Those were aliens. You can also have minions. This is what the minions look like. So I figured that'd be kind of fun for showing your students how to do the drill. So you choose which style you want, and you can launch it small screen like we just did, or there's a button that you can use to launch full screen. You're gonna have to take my word for it on the 3D full screen because this recording device that I'm using will not render that properly. So you can try it out for yourself. This will work though for this recording. You can view the field itself in 2D full screen. And to do that, you're going to go to View, Full Screen Field. You could also hit F, and here's what that's going to look like. Now, hitting F back and forth is going to toggle that like that. You can hit Escape bar or Escape to get away from it as well. And once you're in here, if you click Shift and then the plus or minus buttons, you're going to zoom in and out like this. Currently, I have not learned how to pan left and right on the field yet, up and down, so That's going to be something I'm going to study and I'm going to make for the next version. But for now, if you want to zoom in kind of in the 50 near the front of the field, you can do that. And you can still work here. You can still grab these and pull them around. Add sound to your marching drill. And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and click on sound, choose audio, and then you're going to find your audio file from your file menu. It only works with .wav files, so you have to load a WAV file. If you've got a sound file on your computer that's something other than .wav, you can convert it. I would suggest going to Google, say you have an MP3 file, just Google free MP3 to WAV converter, and then you can just upload your file and it will convert it pretty quickly for you. I am going to load the EIU fight song because I am a Panther from Eastern Illinois University. Now keep in mind everything's still set at a default 2 seconds per set, but whenever I hit play now, you can hear the music playing. Just a quick note about these sound files. Whenever you choose a sound file, you are not actually loading that sound file itself into your marching program. You're not saving a copy of it into your marching program. What you're doing is you are saving a file path to that sound. So what that means is don't delete it because then it's not going to be able to find it. And also don't move it because if you move it, then the file path is going to be incorrect. I would recommend making a copy of that sound file, maybe making a folder to put your drill in and putting that copy inside of it. So that way it's never going to move and it'll always be connected to it. If it does disconnect, that's not a bad thing. It's not horrible. You're going to hit play. It's going to tell you that it can't find it. All you got to do is go back up to sound, choose audio, and then find that file again. Once you have loaded your audio file, now you want to sync that audio file to your drill. So you will have gone through your drill, written out how many steps are going to be in each set, and now it's time to come on to set timings. It tells you to tap the space bar at the start of each set to record durations. Click start to start the music. You hit start, and then you're going to hit the space bar every time that you get to the end of a set, the last step of a set. Think of it as where you would yell hit if you were running through drill with the group. For instance, if the first one is 8 counts, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hit, and on hit, you're going to hit the space bar. Now, you don't have to do the entire song, just 3 sets if you wanted to, and then click out of it. And it's going to set those durations. Anything that you didn't set is going to stay at 2 seconds. And if you don't like it, you can come back and you can do it again because every time that you hit this button and you hit start, it actually erases all previous timings. You're going to start over from scratch. So let's run through one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, space. 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, space. Now I'm going to X out of it. And notice now when I hit play, it has recorded those durations. Now, what if I wanted to have, say, a hold somewhere? So, for instance, we're going to go down to set 5, and I want to stay in this position through set 6 and then move after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 6, and I'm going to not change this whatsoever. We're going to keep 6 exactly like this. Now I'm going to hit 7, and I'm going to create set 7. We're going to move these positions. And I do realize you're going to see this whenever we animate this, that this is way farther than anybody's ever physically going to be able to move in 8 steps. But it's good for the sake of showing you how this works. Now I'm going to hit play and you're going to see that there's a hold. There's our hold because set 6 is the same thing. Then it moves. Also, you can play this back from any point that you want because it's going to play back from that particular spot in the music. Even works whenever you press V to visualize. And when I hit play, or M to move, it's going to be in that same spot in the music. There's two buttons over on the right, copy set and paste, that we're going to talk about now. Copy set does exactly what you would think. It copies the entire set. So our drill so far goes up to set 7. Say that we want set 8 to be the exact same thing as set 1. So I went to 1, I clicked copy set, it's now on the clipboard. I am going to go to set 8 here, click paste, and now set 8 is exactly the same thing as set 1 because I copied it and I pasted it. There's a couple of reasons why this is useful. Number one is, say I wanted to go to set 9 now, and say I'm trying something out, and then I realize I just really don't like it, and I want to start over again. So I'm going to go back to 8, I'm going to copy it, come back to 9, paste it. Now I'm back where I started, and I can start over again from scratch. Another reason why this is really helpful is you can actually copy a set, close the program completely, and it's going to remember it. You could close it and you could walk away for a year and come back a year later, open it back up, and start a completely different file even. So we're going to go to new here, save work before closing. Nope. New file, hit paste, there it is. So the way I would use this is I would put each movement in one file and copy the very last set of the movement, start up a new file for the next movement, and paste it into set 1, and you're there at your starting point whenever you go to make your next movement. One of the most important features of QuickCharts is the ability to print out your charts so that you can teach them to your band. Over here in the shortcut key menu, it tells you that if you press P, preview print, you can see what it's going to look like whenever you print it out. Notice here that this is empty where it says counts. There's no notes up here at the top. We can edit that. So up here at the top of set 1, it says add edit set notes. And I'm going to put in here face the front. And we'll say something like full volume. And I would recommend doing up to 3 lines of text here. It gets a little it shrinks the print size if you go more than 3 lines. So try to keep it to 3, hit submit, and now it's going to show up at the top of set 1. If I go to set 2, it's not there anymore because it's only notes for set 1. I can add counts here. Now whenever I go press P to see the print preview, you can see what that's going to look like. The notes up here at the top. If you start adding more lines, it just shrinks the field a little bit. So 3 is a good number. It's going to show you the counts. And to print this out, what you're going to do is you're going to save a PDF file. You're going to go to Print, Generate PDF Charts, tell it which chart you want to, what set you want to start at, which one you want to end at. Generate PDFs. You're going to tell it to save it. It says you can now open your PDF document to print your drill charts. Let's see what that looks like. Here's my 5-page PDF file. You can see that at the top here, we've got the notes that I added. You've got the counts. Now these are blank because I haven't added them in. But you can print these off, and it's got the numbers in there so that the kids can see the numbers, the position numbers for each of the sets. And I would just, if it were me, open up like a Word file or something and make a file that says like a key of who's what number for whenever you go to learn these sets. So it is possible to print out coordinate charts for any one of your shows, kind of like the one we're looking at here. I'm going to hit stop, and I'm going to go up to print, and we're going to go to generate coordinate charts. Whenever you do this, it's going to ask you if you want to do it for just one marcher in particular, or you can do it for all marchers. Let's do it for all marchers. At the top of the coordinate chart, whatever you type in here is going to show up. So we're just going to say movement 1. We're going to generate the PDF. It's going to ask where you want to save it. And I'm going to save mine in downloads. I'm going to save it as example. And it's going to tell you that it just saved. And now let's take a look at that and see what it looks like. So here's the full thing. It's 139 pages long because there was 139 marchers. Each one of these is going to say which marcher it's for, what the name of the movement is that you typed in. If I would have put counts in, those would show up here. But then you can just print these off and give them to the kids, and they can use these if you'd rather use these instead of the actual pictures of the drill files. I will say that QuickCharts will support up to 100 sets. All 100 will fit on 2 pieces of paper here. So if you happen to do one that is more than 1 piece of paper, then I would just print it front to back, and then that would each page front to back would be for one person. There are a few more shortcuts than what are listed over here, and you can get to that full list by going to Help and going to View All Shortcuts. That's going to open it in a web browser, and there you're going to have a list of all shortcut keys by group. So how to snap to grid, different things for visualization, movement, set selection, full screen, 2D commands, 3D shortcuts, editing, miscellaneous. This video covers all of them, but in case you ever want a quick look at it, there you can find it. At the time that I'm making this video, there is one bug that I'm aware of, and that is if you hit the play button twice, a second time while it's already playing, weird things happen and you end up having to shut the program down. I'm going to explain that to you in a moment, but first a little bit of a backstory. So I was a middle school band director for 19 years. I taught marching band one of those years. I am currently getting a master's in computer science, and emphasis is in software development. For one of my classes a year ago, I could make any software that I wanted. So I chose marching band drill writing software, this program. And I chose it because my wife is a high school band director, and her program doesn't have the money to buy anything more expensive to write drill with. So her options were either write it out by hand or me make something. So that's where this program originated. It was for her originally. Now, that being said, I'm not a big company. I don't have employees. It's me. I sit in my dining room and I write this on my computer. There's going to be some bugs. That's why I put my email at the top of the program here. I encourage you to email me with any bugs. You can email me your drill files if you'd like me to see them. And if you have any features you'd like added to this, email me. Anytime I fix bugs or I add features, whenever you open up your software, it'll tell you that there is an upgrade that you can upgrade and get the new features. So I'm going to be continually adding those for several years, I believe. So that being said, let's look at what happens when you hit play twice. I'm going to hit play, the music's going to start. I'm going to hit play again. It's going to start a second time from the beginning. I'm going to hit stop. It's going to stop one of the instances, but it'll keep going, and then the stop button. And now the only thing I can do to make this stop is I have to exit out of the program. I'm going to show you how to unlock the full version. For this, I have got a trial version. Doesn't matter how much you press next step or where you go to as far as a set, you just can't go past set 4. Now with the trial version, you can do everything that you can do with any other version. For instance, I can animate things. I can print out my drill charts. I can print coordinate charts. I can view in 3D if I want to. I just can't go past set 4. That gives you a chance to see if you like the way that it operates or not before you buy it. Now, if you decide to buy it, you can go up to version. Version does have a thing for later. You can check for updates to see if you have the latest version. For instance, right here it says I have the latest version. You can also get a version web page if you want to revert to a prior version or unlock the full version. So if you click unlock full version, you're going to pull up a page that says that it's $30 if you're doing this brand new or $10 if you're upgrading. If you're upgrading, I have sent you an email on how to do that. You are going to put your name and email in here and a product key that actually pops up for you whenever you first open this up, and you're going to hit submit. Now that product key is unique to this install. If you were to uninstall this, and I guess I can't talk and type at the same time. If you were to uninstall this and reinstall it, the product key would actually be different. And that means that the unlock key would be different as well. So this is actually just a fake PayPal account that comes with, if you're a PayPal developer, they have fake accounts so you can see if your transactions work or not. So this isn't really happening. Um, well, here's what's going to happen. It's going to say that your payment was successful. It's going to give you an unlock code. You can copy it. And if you have any problems, you can email me there. You are going to go back to your software. You're going to paste that in and you're going to hit submit. It's going to say that you unlocked it successfully. Now it's also going to send you an email that has your unlock code in it. So if you don't happen to get it unlocked right then, you can go back to your email, you can check that. Now pretend that I've deleted this completely. I've uninstalled the software and I come back and now it's not unlocked again, but you've already paid for it. What this does when you register is it actually registers your unique piece of equipment. There's a code that comes with your computer that goes into my database so that whenever you try to connect here again, it's going to recognize that this particular computer has already paid and you're going to get this thing that says our records show that you have already purchased this software and registered it to this device. Now that won't work if you change out your motherboard or if you change out your hard drive. In the unusual event that that happens, just send me an email, and I'm real easygoing about that. I'll tell you how to unlock your software. But otherwise, you're going to copy that. You're going to paste it right here, hit submit, and then you can unlock it again. Now that does mean that this is only limited to one computer, since it does have a hardware code with it. If you ever want to transfer it over to another computer, you can either buy another version and have it on both, or again, send me an email. We can deactivate it on one computer and I can help you get it activated on another computer. Thank you for watching this video. Last thing I want to end with is the button up here that we haven't talked about yet, which is the social button. From here, you can go to the QuickCharts Facebook group. I encourage you to do that. Like and subscribe to it, follow it. It's not a page where it's just me writing things. You can write things as well. You can write comments, suggestions, questions, anything, and I'll respond to those. Thanks a lot.